Alright, I'm gonna explain to you how to literally win at anything in the world. If you don't know me, my name's Kevin. I've been lifting weights, meditating, journaling, and I've read over 100 books, studying billionaires, emperors, philosophers, scientists, and the greatest people in history. And I know I sound like a bit ill, honestly, because I am, so I do apologize on my voice, but I'm gonna explain to you literally how to win at anything. Now, this is basically how people who win at business, at fitness, at anything in the world. This is how I personally went from someone who was addicted to video games, addicted to junk food, addicted to social media, to now lifting weights, meditating, journaling. I cut out all those bad habits. I literally wanted to commit suicide and had suicidal thoughts. I was depressed, I was anxious, I hated my life. And now I absolutely love my life and I feel fulfilled, confident, happy. I just feel awesome, honestly. And now I do all these great habits and I've just been obsessed with self-improvement since then. Now, how do you win at anything in life? Really, it just comes down to mathematical equations. Because really, I'm gonna explain this as simply as I can. This is not gonna be like a shiny video or top 10 tips on how to be successful, right? But I promise you, if you understand this and you watch this video in full, right? And you understand what I'm gonna explain to you, you will absolutely demolish everyone. Because this is like really deep stuff, right? This is gonna be like deep thinking, right? It's not gonna be shiny. It's not gonna be to grab your attention, right? This is gonna be very deep thinking, right? So basically, we have to think in first principles, and what that means is we have to think on what is the objective truth of the universe, right? What is fact? What is true of the universe, right? Now, the first principle of the universe, the law that governs the entire universe, right, is called causal law. And basically, it's just the law of cause and effect, right? And you might be like, oh, Kevin, but I already know this, right? This is not anything new, right? Like, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? The law of cause and effect. But if you can understand this, you will literally win at everything, right? Because here's the thing. Every effect has a cause and every cause has an effect, right? Everything we do has an effect and everything that happens has a cause, right? If we think of everything, right? Like you contract up your muscles to stand up, that's the cause, and then the effect is you actually standing up, right? The cause is you were thirsty, and the effect is you drank water because you were thirsty, right? And this is just like common sense, right? Like the law that governs the entire universe is the law of cause and effect. And this is basically just called Hegel's dialectic, right? Where you have a thesis and an antithesis and it causes the synthesis. This is the law of cause and effect. So if you go back to the water example, the thesis is you being very thirsty, and the antithesis is you actually drinking water, and the synthesis is you no longer being thirsty again, right? So, and this is called Hegel's dialectic, and it basically explains how the entire universe works. Like, your life is literally just a product of millions and millions and millions of these cause and effect relationships, right? So if we think that way, then every single thing you want to win at is an effect, right? So if the effect is you want a jacked physique, right? The cause is gonna be, eating clean, training hard, and sleeping early. And doing that over time, so for like 3 to 5 years, right? If you do that, it's physically and literally and practically impossible for you to not be jacked, or for you to not have a fit, healthy, muscular physique. It's literally impossible, because this is just mathematics, right? So if we can see everything as an effect, right, we can break down the cause into a mathematical equation, and that's how you win at everything. And that's how I won at the things that I won at. That's how I became, I believe so, like, I'm pretty muscular, right? That's how I've read over 100 books. That's how I've been meditating and journaling for years. That's how I made tons of friends, right? So really all it comes down to is, if you want to win at everything, it's just action over time. That's it. Or really it's action multiplied by consistency over time. So if we go back to that example, like if the effect is you want a aesthetic 10 out of 10 jacked physique, it's action times consistency over time. So basically what that is train hard, multiplied by eat clean, multiplied by sleep early, multiply all that, right, by consistency over time. And if you do that, like I said, it's literally impossible to not be jacked. Like if you do that over time, over like 10 years, 5 to 10 years, like it's just common sense. Like if you eat clean and you train hard and you sleep early for 10 years straight, of course you'll have like a 0.001% physique. You'll have a physique that's better than 99.99% of the population, right? And you'll nearly max your genetic limit, right? I'll give you another example. Let's say you want to be smarter than 99.999% of people. That's like what you want to win at. You want to be like more intelligent and smarter than 99.99% of people. Basically, you want to be one of the smartest and most intelligent people in the world, right? So how do you do that? Well, like I said, it's action times consistency over time. So you read for 3 hours times consistency over time. And if you do that, you will literally be smarter than 99.999% of people. It's just facts. It's just facts. Like, because if you read like for 3 hours every single day, which is the consistency part, is doing that thing every single day for 10 years. That's like how much, that's like what, like over 1,000 books? Of course you're gonna be smarter than 99.999% of people. Like if you just read 400 books, you'll be smarter than 99% of people. Like, it's so easy to win once you understand this. Once you understand that everything you want to win at is just an effect. And if you just figure out the cause and break down the first principles and put them in a mathematical equation, it's literally impossible to not win. Does that make sense? Like another example is, let's say you want peak mental health. So you want like absolute peak amazing mental health, right? Okay, that's the effect. What is the cause? Well, the cause is meditate for 30 minutes a day and journal for 30 minutes a day times consistency over time. So if you meditate and journal both for 1 hour a day times consistency and do that for 5 to 10 years, you will have peak mental health, right? You see what I'm getting here? Now, let's think critically. Like, what if you want to win at being the best version of yourself? Like, what if you want to be the best version of yourself? Okay? If that's the effect, you wanting to be the best version of yourself, then the cause is gonna be routine times consistency over time. That's going to be the cause, right? So basically a routine, and I'm talking like a self-improvement routine, like a routine that has you meditating, you journaling, you know, you talking to people, you eating clean, you working out, you reading for hours, right? You working on a business, you doing all those things. You do that routine, like your entire day is just self-improvement, multiplied by consistency over 5 to 10 years, then you'll be the best version of yourself. It's literally that simple, right? What about money? Like, let's say you want to be a millionaire, okay? Well, I'm not a millionaire, but I've studied tons and tons of biographies about billionaires, emperors, and conquerors, right? And I think I found the money-making equation, right? And if you being a millionaire is the effect, then the cause is going to be, well, I genuinely think this is it. It's value times leverage times consistency over time. So what does that mean? That means value is just alleviating people's pain. And to go a little bit deeper, it means to solve people's problems, right? So value is just solving problems. And leverage it's basically doing that to a lot of people, right? So basically all it comes down to be a millionaire, right? From what I've learned from all these billionaires, right? From people like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and all these great people across history, is if you want to become a millionaire, if that's the effect, then the cause is going to solve a problem to a lot of people over time. That's it. Like if you solve a problem or multiple problems or problems to a lot of people over 5 to 10 years, like it's almost guaranteed that you will become a millionaire, because it's just mathematics. Like if you want to win at everything, it's just math. It's literally just break the thing down to the first principles, and the first principles of being a millionaire is value and leverage, and multiply that by consistency, which means just doing it every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to do it, over time. And if you do that, you will win at anything. It's just that simple. Like if you strip away all the BS, if you strip away all the nonsense, like winning at anything is just mathematics. It's just breaking the first principles into a mathematical equation, multiplied by consistency over time. Alright, so I hope I gave you value in this video. I hope I helped like make you see the world and the universe and reality from a different perspective, right? If you can think that way, you'll really destroy everyone. Like I'm telling you, if you can think that way, you'll run over everyone, man. Alright, so this is what I learned, and as always, we're in this together and we will make it.